How can you have any meat if you don't eat your pudding?
The Tommy Boyds Show.
Back and to the left. Yeah.
The show with more endurance than radiation itself.
You say either, and I say either.
Apparently official. Stand by, please.
Tommy Boyds.
Apparently official.
Have you no compassion?
Stand by, please.
Let's rehang the pictures in the gallery of life.
There is no escaping here.
Tommy Boyds.
Cabin doors to automatic. Good morning. Isn't life wonderful? Well, it can be wonderful. It's wonderful in snatches, and then suddenly it all makes sense. Well, we always hope that suddenly it will make sense. Supposing it does. Supposing it could for you, my friend listening. You see, the thing is, it has for me. I have had a Damascenean experience. And I've got to tell you, it was a long time coming, because unlike an awful lot of people, I have been treading the road to Damascus for a long time. I have lived my life in pursuit of one thing and one thing only. Besides some of the little pleasures and privileges along the way, I have been living my life in pursuit of the meaning of life. Actively, consciously, with all my brain cells tuned to that one wavelength, and all I heard for 30 years was white noise. But then, well, we'll come to that in a second. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I know why we're here. I know what I have to do. I know who you are, and I know what it is for you to do. Free call 0500 10 53 89. And I didn't simply swallow the first set of ideas that were chucked at me from a pulpit. On the contrary, like a great many people, I rejected those very ideas because of the way in which they were hurled at me from a pulpit. And so I set out on what I saw as my own personal private pilgrimage to lead me to whatever shrine it is at which we should worship or enjoy or think, consider, whatever the altar is, whatever it looks like and whatever you're supposed to do, knelt at it or standing above it. It was in search of that shrine that I went those years ago. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I know what it is I am here to do. And I'm already enjoying it all the more for that, as you would expect. There's nothing smug about this at all. I'm not saying my dad's bigger than your dad, my God's better than your God. I know what it is I have to do. And that, I have to tell you, is the most profound and comforting sensation of all the many sensations, and I've had a few, that there are on planet Earth. Seriously. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I travelled from the Protestant Methodist Christianity of my childhood through atheism, agnosticism. I had a good look at Buddhism, very interesting. Hinayana and Mahayana Buddhism. Upper and lower Mahayana Buddhism. Oh, yes. Those who worshipped the Hindu faith. Those who followed the way of the prophet Jude. And Jehovah, Islam, is well worth a second and a third look. I can tell you, as is the Shinto faith, as are all the philosophers, many of whose works overlap with many of the world's great religions, such as the late 19th, early 20th century prophet Kahlil Gibran. Then there are the modern philosophers, the Russells, the Krishnamurtis of this world. There's Confucius in China, who is well worth a third and a fourth look. And there is Lao Tzu, the Taoist prophet, sage, writer, guide, spiritual advisor. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I have trained as a samurai to take myself nearer to the notion that when my call comes, my bag will be packed and my knife will be at my belt. I studied Native American Indian philosophy whilst in the United States and understand what they mean by the happy hunting ground. But all of them, all that lot, the whole lot of them, the Pope and Dalai Lama, right down to my milkman, who has views on the subject, they've all got it wrong. I know the meaning of life. My life and your life. I know what you have to do. Free call 0500 10 53 89 is the number. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Mike calls from Cardiff. You're on Talk Radio. Mike, good afternoon.
Hi Tommy, how are you?
So well, thank you for asking.
I'm wondering, is there any meaning to your life still, now that you know the meaning of it? I mean, is there any mystery, you know?
Oh, a great many mysteries, of course. Profound and higher mysteries and intriguing mysteries.
Yeah, but have you found like you've lost something now that you know the meaning?
No, not at all. On the contrary. I think when you're looking for something and you find it, all you lose is the uncertainty, which wasn't particularly enjoyable during the search, was it, Mike?
No.
I mean, if you're looking for something, you do want to find it, don't you, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
You hardly say that you've lost something when you found it, do you?
Well, yeah, but yes, you can say that you have, because there's something in the looking for it, isn't there?
Yes.
You know, there's the thrill of the look, you know, the thrill of the chase, if you like.
No, it isn't a thrill. It's a lonely, cold experience, wondering what you're supposed to be doing with your little trip to planet Earth and back. Isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. And are you going to share with us the meaning then?
Well, I don't see why I should, because I think if I tell you what it is,
right,
then you wouldn't believe me.
Right.
And secondly, you wouldn't be able to live that way, you see.
Right.
Unless you had found it yourself. As Confucius said, you know, a youngster... how old are you?
I'm 16.
Okay. You could read all you cared about the laws of balance, Mike, couldn't you? But would that make you a gymnast?
No, it wouldn't.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Are there any mysteries left for me in life anymore? Yes. Yes, I still think one of the great unanswered mysteries is why Andy Crane chose to try and be so much like Philip Schofield. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are always intriguing questions that can be answered.
So how should we all go about looking for the meaning of life then?
You've answered your own question in your question.
Thank you.
Not at all. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I have found the meaning of life, and I am all the better for it. I know what I'm supposed to do whilst I'm here, and I know what you're supposed to do while you are here. Eamon calls from Devon. You're on Talk Radio. Eamon.
Tommy, there isn't a meaning of life, so how can you have found it? There isn't any purpose or meaning.
That's what I thought when I was young, Eamon.
No, but I know this.
What age are you?
Never you mind. You see, if I tell you, then you'll immediately say, you're not very wise. Won't you?
The seed can only be a seed, Eamon. A shoot can only be a shoot.
You see, you're making up all this supposed meaningful stuff.
A full-grown plant can only be a full-grown plant.
There's no meaning. They're just interpretations.
We all spend time when we're young, Eamon, believing, perhaps, that the effort may not be worthwhile. But trust me, Eamon, the effort is worthwhile.
You think it is, but your view has been warped by your interpretations of life.
And every 1,000-mile journey, Eamon...
So you're not listening?
...begins with a single step.
You're like one of these religious people. You're like one of these people in cults. They just doesn't listen to anyone else.
I haven't got anything to hear from you, Eamon, because you're very little and young.
Then why do you take calls?
I didn't ask you to call.
Well, yes, you did. You gave out the number.
I didn't ask you to call.
Not me personally, but you want people to call, and I'm one of those people.
I didn't want you to call as much as you wanted to call.
No. But you wanted people to call. If no one like myself called, then you'd have no callers, and you'd have no show.
Oh,
you'd have no job at this radio station.
I'd have a great show.
I don't think so.
If I didn't have callers like you,
it'd just be you talking to yourself.
That would be a much better show than me talking to you.
Why?
Well, because you're very naive, innocent, shallow, youthful.
No? I can see the truth.
Pallid.
I can see the truth, but you've obviously been warped by something.
Eamon, you will regret those words in years to come, but
no way.
The only solace you can take away from this call is that I bear you no malice.
Well, why not? You bear most of your callers' malice, and I've dared to contradict what you're saying.
Yes, but you're not as good as most of my callers, and that's why I can't be bothered to bear you any malice, okay?
I'm better than them all. And I'm better than you, because I can see the truth.
And what would that be, perhaps?
That there is no meaning, and that there is no purpose.
So why are you going to bother to carry on?
Carry on what?
Living.
Because my primitive human instincts tell me to.
For what?
What do you mean, for what?
Why carry on?
I just told you.
Why?
I told you because you asked.
No, why carry on just because you got some primitive instincts, young man?
Because they overpower any logic or rational thinking I have.
So the only reason...
And they tell me to live.
The only reason that you are living is because...
We can all think logically and rationally, but ultimately our primitive urges and instincts overpower that.
Yes. So you're living because your ancient primitive instincts tell you to keep on living.
That's right.
Eamon, I salute your philosophy.
I don't think you do.
It is rich.
Well, you said that you disagree with me.
Proud, inspirational, and offers hope to us all.
But you think I'm wrong, so how can you say that?
Eamon in Devon. We mustn't judge Eamon. He's but a child. And when one is a child, one thinks as a child. But when one is a man, one speaks as a man. And I am a man who knows why he is here, who knows his purpose in life. We have Steve now calling from Southport. You're on Talk Radio, Steve. Good afternoon.
All right, Tommy.
Steve, boy.
Tommy, I know the meaning of life.
Hallelujah.
I know the meaning of life, Tommy, and I can't say that people shouldn't know this, but it's getting drunk and making love as often as you can.
Well, I would have put it differently. I would have said that one of the reasons for our living is that we should make sure that others follow and that we ourselves experience everything that life has to offer. That's the same thing as what you said, Steve, only it sounds a bit better.
Well, I mean, obviously we can put it whichever way we like, Tommy, but if we come down to the old brass tacks of it, then all it is just getting drunk every night and making sure you make love to a different girl every night anyway.
Yes. Steve, thank you for your call. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Was I the only person who wondered if there was any point? Or did you sometimes? On your way home through the wind and the rain with 2 full shopping bags which cost far more than you could really afford, and you knew that nobody would appreciate it anyway. In fact, nobody appreciated you at all for anything. Did you ever think to yourself, why am I bothering? Well, there is a reason. There is a purpose. A huge, trembling, tremulous purpose. And I'm lucky. I was taking the bins out the other night, and I realised what it is. Mary calls from Birmingham. You're on Talk Radio. Mary, good afternoon.
Hello, Tommy.
Mary.
The meaning of life.
Yes.
Death. We are born to die to be with our Maker. Agree? Tommy?
No.
Oh, Tommy, you gotta die to meet your Maker.
No, I'm sorry, Mary. That does
Come
not
on,
meaning
Tommy.
of life.
You said you know the truth.
I do.
I know
not
the
it.
truth. I believe I died 8 weeks ago in my bed.
Did you really?
And he sent me back because I'm an old lady. Very old lady. Believe me, I know the truth.
I don't believe you.
Don't you? Ask God.
I don't have to ask God.
You do, because you don't know?
No, I do.
You don't know the meaning of life is death?
I do. I do know the meaning of life, and that is not the meaning of life.
How old are you, Tommy?
In Earth years...
Come on, Earth years, how old are you?
In Earth years, I'm 45.
You're 45.
Yes.
How many children?
Here?
Yes.
This time round?
Yes.
2.
2?
That I'm paying for.
Are you a grandfather?
Cut to the chase, Mary.
I'm a grandmother of 43. And I think I know a little bit more than you, Tommy. Because I could be a great-grandmother next year.
And so the meaning of life has shifted from going to meet your Maker when you snuff it to having as many sprogs as possible in order to pull rank.
There you go, then. I'd say I was wiser than you, Tommy.
There you are, you see. There you are, you see. You poor soul, you're surrounded by people with those kinds of philosophy, and they are many and they are varied. And most of them are about as deep as a cup of tea. But you and I, you and me, you listening, you, yes, you and I, we know there's more to it than that, and we kind of know what it is. And I can tell you the secret of finding out what it is. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Trevor is on the line from Sussex, and we'll speak to Trevor in just a moment. I'm Tommy Boyd, the one who knows the meaning of life. This is Talk Radio. There is a good argument for listening. Trevor calls from Sussex. Trevor, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Tommy. How are you?
Very well. Never been better, thank you. Top of the world.
Excellent. I hear you've never been better, so it's obviously got something to do with your revelation. And the simple question I really wanted to ask, Tom, was your revelation must be so good that you must at least want to share it to everyone in the rest of the world so that we can all be a part of it.
I do.
What is it?
I am. And I have for a great many years.
Right. How have you actually shared your revelation with us then, Tom?
In my own, once mysterious, now crystal clear way.
I'll tell you what, mate, it's very misty at the moment because you're not actually told anyone what it is.
Oh, yes, I have, Trevor.
Okay, put it in a way that we can all understand then, Tom, please.
I already have, Trevor.
How's that then?
And still am.
Go on then. I'm obviously a bit thick then.
And will continue to do so.
Go on, Tom. Explain this revelation to us, please. Because I'm very intrigued. I've been listening most of the afternoon. I heard you come up with your statement. I thought, crikey, if it's so good, then why isn't it as crystal clear to us so that we can all understand it and be a part of it? That wasn't a deep question, was it, Tom?
When a man asked Confucius whether he would enjoy and benefit from the philosophy that Confucius was offering, Confucius pointed to a tree bearing apples.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And if we...
Have you got that? That's it? And I'm not going to say any... What?
All I've got basically is if you point to an apple...
Yeah?
You can have one of two choices, I suppose.
Yes.
You can either choose to eat the apple.
Yes.
Or you can leave it alone on the tree
and
look at it
until
it drops off the tree. Or until it rots.
No, maybe
Where is the greater benefit?
Maybe that's what he meant. Maybe it's not.
It doesn't actually answer a lot then, does it? It gives you three answers. Neither of which will give you complete and utter satisfaction.
Trevor in Sussex. Hard at work to discover the meaning of life, or is he? Would he not rather it arrived wrapped in cellophane and available in 4 attractive colours? Free call 0500 10 53 89. I know the meaning of life. I know why you are here. Mark calls from Bedford. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Mark, you're on Talk Radio.
Hello.
Sir.
I'd like to know how you quantify knowing the meaning of life. What it was that persuaded you to know that for sure you know what it is.
You know when you pick up something very hot, you don't know at first. Not for a second, do you?
Right.
Then it hurts.
Yeah.
Sometimes you smell the burning flesh first. That's happened to me. Right?
Yeah.
Then you drop it.
Yeah.
But you know for the rest of your life, first of all because of the sensation, and then because of the indelible scar.
Right. I think we're straying from the subject a bit. I think you've decided on something you want it to be, and that's it, for yourself.
Oh, I see. So your question wasn't a search for an answer so much as an opportunity to begin to question.
Well, I just... it was either... Are you talking about a religious message or something you had?
No.
Right, but it was obviously something you regard as giving you a message that you believe.
You're turning the meaning of life into 20 questions.
I just want to establish where you got the message from.
Establish?
How come nobody else has had the message? What makes you so special?
Well, I didn't say it was on the internet, did I?
No, but it's obviously something you've...
Nobody says... No, look, I'll tell you why I've got the message and you haven't. You know why I've got the message and you haven't? You know why? Because
Well,
I've been looking...
You've just dreamed something up, that's what
I've
it
been
is.
looking longer than you. I've been searching harder than you. I'm better at looking than you are, but I don't have to be.
Rubbish. I think you've just been looking for something and then suddenly you've thought of something you'd like it to be and that's what you've
What have
decided.
you done to find the meaning of life, then?
What have I done?
Yeah.
I don't believe there is a specific meaning for life.
Nothing, then. Nothing. 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 Now, if you'd never tried to juggle and I'd spent 20 years at it, who'd be most likely to be a good juggler?
I think you could look for a millennium and you still wouldn't find anything.
Answer the question, you plonker.
Sorry, what was the question you put to me again?
If you'd never tried to juggle and you've never looked for the meaning of life, and I'd spent 20 years juggling and 20 years looking for the meaning of life, who do you suppose is the better juggler and who's more likely to know the meaning of life? Answer.
It's a completely different question. Juggling and looking for the meaning of life are two completely different things.
Ah, but you see, you'll never know that because you're not looking for the meaning of life or juggling.
Thousands of people have looked for the meaning of life.
Have you?
Nobody has come up with anything.
Have you?
Have I?
Yeah.
Well, I've thought about it from time to time, yeah.
You've
Everyone
thought
does.
about it from time to time. What, after 6 pints?
I don't believe that you spend every waking moment of your life thinking about
Well,
it.
then, in that case, that's something where you are dead wrong, pal. In fact, I spend plenty of moments in my sleeping life wondering about the meaning of life.
That's not quality time.
In your case, waking time isn't quality time.
I just don't believe that...
What a waste of a life. What a waste of an existence. What a totally irrelevant Ford Escort, Tony Jacklin Club's life you're living, man.
No, I don't actually. I live a convertible MG, Peugeot 205 GTI, and I enjoy my life.
And you will
thanks
be
very much.
dead and forgotten before you're dead.
I don't think so.
Certain of it.
I enjoy my life.
Wake up.
Thanks very much.
Wake up.
I have woken up. I've been up since 7.
Smell the cherry blossom.
I think you should wake up.
And do
That's
what?
the fact that what you've discovered isn't quite so shattering as you think it is.
Ah, but you don't know what it is. And supposing I've got gold.
Well,
and
nor does anyone else.
Supposing
You know,
I've got
it's
gold.
like nobody else in the world knows, but you know. I think
Supposing,
that, it's a
supposing,
good
I
sign that you're mad.
supposing I discover that it is an infallible way of getting women, then you'd be interested, wouldn't you?
No.
Yes, you would.
Well.
You're a liar as well. You're not much fun to have a conversation with because you just say the first inconvenient thing that comes into your mind. And that's very childlike. And you're a lot younger, really, than your years, aren't you?
Well, I like to think I'm. I don't want to be an old fart.
You'll die younger than you were when you were born, Mark, unless
Good,
you wake
I
up
don't want to be a
and start looking for
stale
it.
old adult.
Oh, but you already are.
No, I'm not.
You're already irrelevant.
You don't know me.
Well, I think we've judged you enough from your conversation. You have views on something that you've never even given a serious moment's thought to.
But I can reflect on the thousands of people that have thought about it.
Yeah,
And I don't
such as,
believe- if there was something to find, I don't think you'd be the only person in the world.
name one, name his work, name what you've done with his work, name him. Who? The thousands? Who?
Philosophers.
Who? Name one.
The famous philosophers.
Name
I'm not into
one.
philosophy.
Name one, you empty vessel. Name
Freud.
one. Freud isn't a philosopher, you pillock.
Yes, he is. Yes,
you
he is.
tragic pillock.
Well, he started off his career as a philosopher. Thank you very much.
He didn't. He started off his career as a doctor, you twat.
No, he didn't, you prat. He didn't. He started off as a philosopher.
You're
Am I touching a nerve or something?
No, it's just that I don't know what to do because I have to demean myself by somehow talking to you in your own vocabulary of lies and
If you're not prepared
sadness.
to say what you think it is, then
That's it,
how
isn't
can
it? You
anyone
see?
have a conversation
That's
with
it,
you?
isn't it? You honestly think that you've got what it takes to goad me into betraying the meaning of life here at 3:32
I don't
this
see why you
August
should be blessed with
afternoon in 1992. Who said it's a blessing? It might be a curse. Nah.
Let's hope so, eh?
Yeah. Hey, you see, you, good listener, you like me, wade through knee deep in this human manure, for goodness sake. Free call 0500 10 53 89. But I am here to tell you that there is hope, and you knew there was hope. You guessed that there was hope. You hoped that there was hope, and hope there is, for there is a purpose. There is a meaning to it all. And when I was taking the bins out the other night, there it was. And I realised that I'd always known, and that I'd seen it clearly several times before. I know why I'm here, and I know why you're here. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Everything has to be an argument with some people, doesn't it? Josephine calls from South London. Josephine, you're on Talk Radio. Welcome.
Hello. Tommy, everyone's missing the point.
Yes.
Everyone's missing the point. I mean, you've given loads of clues. You found it when you were taking out the rubbish. It's like a paradox. I think the meaning of life is about understanding yourself. And sometimes when you're looking, you don't find. And when you're not looking, it just comes to you like an inspiration. It's an understanding, like your example of the tree and the apple. The questions that people were throwing at you, they didn't even see the tree. You know, it's understanding that the tree, the apple, the beauty of it, there's lots of things. I've just rambled on, haven't I? And you haven't said a word.
I've been listening carefully to everything you have to say. You're a very wise person.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Free call 0500 10 53 89. John calls now from Guildford. John, you are on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Hi, Tommy. How you doing?
I've never been better. Thank you for asking.
You sound good. Listen, I think you have taught me the meaning of life. Seriously. Just listening to this radio, I think I now know it. Do you know what it is?
Go on.
It's not to be as much of a totally absurd and sad fool as you obviously are. And if there's any justice in the world and life's all about balance, you ain't going to have a job, mate, in a year. I just think you're a fool, and you've really wound me up, and I've had to call. But well done.
You're a very mixed up person, aren't you? You don't really know what you think about anything, do you? Like so many young people, and you'll always be young, John.
I'm not young, I'm 31, but I'm probably 10 years younger than you.
I wasn't referring to your life in age, in years. You're very young, you're a young soul. And like so many...
I can feel that your listeners are against you. I can just feel it. I think they all agree with me, but they just can't be bothered to call.
You're not a
but
very...
I'm definitely representing quite a large core of the community.
No.
You are a fool, baby. See you later.
Oh, he's off, is it? That's fine. That's fine. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting what gets some people's goat? I find it very, very interesting what gets some people's goat. And what's got the goat of an awful lot of people in their late teens and early 20s. And it's them. Fascinating, isn't it? God! What's got an awful lot of people in their late teens and early 20s, right, out of their prams, is the idea that somebody knows something important and hasn't actually told them what it is in short sentences containing words of one syllable so that they can do it with their mouse. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I know the meaning of life. I have searched longer and harder than anyone drawing breath on this planet, as she is. So I'm entitled to find it first. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Anna calls from Ilford. You're on Talk Radio. Anna, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
I didn't quite understand why you use the apple tree as an analogy for what you wanted to say, but I looked at it from the point of view of procreation. But man is not on earth to procreate, but to gather wisdom, so that the spirit can grow. And the spirit is this energy within the human body, which is referred to as the soul. And at death, the spirit never dies. The spirit is your little bit of sunshine, your little bit of energy from the sun. And this is one of the reasons why you may grow old externally, but you never grow old internally.
Nope.
Yeah?
No.
Why do you say that?
Because that's not the meaning of life.
What is the meaning of life?
I'm not going to tell you, but that isn't.
It's wisdom, to gather wisdom throughout your life.
Nope.
Why? Is it to procreate?
Nope.
Well, you have another answer that I haven't got.
That's right.
Yeah, well, you must tell me about it sometime.
Nope. Not going to do that. Why should I do that? People don't give you money in the street. Why should I tell you something that I've spent a lifetime looking for and I finally found it? Why should I do that?
Hey. Wisdom comes with experience.
No, not necessarily.
Yes.
No.
Definitely.
No, it doesn't. No.
Nope.
Nope.
What does it come with?
Not going to tell you. Why should I tell? Why should I give away stuff that that's so hard earned?
Why did you read that, or did you experience it? From what angle are you approaching the subject?
That's my business. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Alan calls now from North London. And I have a feeling that Alan is a wise person. You're on Talk Radio. Alan, good afternoon.
Hello, Tommy.
Alan.
I was interested to hear what you're saying. I've known this thing that you know since I was 12.
The meaning of life.
That's right.
Ah.
It's developed within me, of course, since then.
Yes.
But I mean, it's when you start to think, Tommy.
No.
Yes.
No. No, it's not. No. No, sorry.
You've never lived, Tommy.
Yes,
I hoped you would agree with me.
Well, I'm sorry.
You have yet to awaken and come to life.
No, I haven't. No, it might have been pottering around the streets of North London. That might be what it seems like to you, but no. Sorry.
When you awaken and know life, come forward and awaken, then you'll know the meaning of life, Tommy.
No, he's got it wrong as well. Free call 0500. Isn't it extraordinary how everybody's got it wrong? Free call 0500 10 53 89. Vera calls now from Wiltshire. You're on Talk Radio, Vera. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tommy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I just wanted to share this with you because I also spent the whole of my life trying to discover the meaning of life or an answer to the mystery of it all.
Well, we all do, you see.
And I just wanted to say that I've been piecing the jigsaw puzzle pieces together for a very long time, and I've studied just a very little of some of the philosophers and philosophies that you mentioned at the beginning of the program. And I just wanted to share with you that I've come to the conclusion that the reason why we are here is because we have important lessons and things to learn, and that the important thing is that we have to learn not just the lessons but acceptance of all the traumas and trials that we have to go through in learning those lessons. So a great deal of acceptance, and that the only thing that is of any importance is our relationships with other people, and trying as much and as hard as we can to get those right, and not get caught up in the sort of trap at the side there of thinking that career and health or money are important. The sole thing that is important is that we get our relationships with other people right, and through our relationships with other people we learn then about ourselves and to understand ourselves as well.
No. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. I was taking the bins out a couple of nights ago, and there it was, in the least expected place. I'd looked everywhere for it, and had only caught a glimpse of its tail disappearing into the undergrowth here, or heard the sound of its clacking cane as it turned a corner and then was gone when I gave chase there. And then, when I was least expecting it, when I wasn't looking for it, I found the meaning of life, glory. I know what it is, and I know why I'm here. And now I am complete. I am at rest. And I know why you're here. I know what it is you must do. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Nima has called from Surrey. Nima, you're on Talk Radio. Hello.
Hello, Tommy. Before I go on to talk about the meaning of life, I'd like to say something to you, and I think you should write it down. As Plato said, oratory is to the soul as cookery is to the body. Now go and think about that. I'll move on to the meaning of life in a minute. Right. To all the people out there who are doing their mediocre little jobs and have never thought about what it means to be on Earth and to be living, I think Tommy's trying to put you right, but I'm not sure he's doing it in the right way. I think he's been trying to get you to question why you're here, and a lot of you aren't getting it. But I don't think he necessarily knows the meaning of life. Tommy, I don't pretend to know the meaning of life, but I'm willing to help you out if you want. Do you want to ask me anything? I'll go on, don't worry.
I don't want to ask you anything.
But can I put my little bit in anyway?
No.
Oh, come on, Tommy.
Because you don't know anything, you're too young.
That's true. I'm young, I'm
brittle
naive,
and too
I don't
shiny.
know enough. But
And
You've got to help me out. This is like turning your back on your child. Would you do that? If your child came up to you and asked you something, would you turn your back on him? Are you saying you're not willing to teach me?
the help that I'm giving you is the help that I give you because I like you.
You're too kind.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Do you want me to go on and explain what my limited understanding of the meaning of life is, and then you can put me right where I go wrong, or you can reject it and start anew if you wish?
Yes.
Good, thank you. You're too kind. As far as I'm concerned, the meaning of life... Well, no, not the meaning of life. The best that I can work out is that you want to end up a better person than you started with. And the only way I can think of is to make sure your soul... I don't necessarily mean soul, but you personally inside, the I, if you see what I mean, isn't corrupted. So as you die, feeling happy with yourself. Now, that is the most important thing to me. That when I die, I'm truly happy with myself and my actions. Now, secondarily, I think I should try to help other people by getting them to question their beliefs. Now, I think that's the thing you try to do, but I don't think that is necessarily the meaning of life. I think that's probably a secondary to the fact that you've got to die happy with yourself. Put me right where I've gone wrong, please.
Oh. Free call 0500 10 53 89 is the number. Morgan calls now from Bournemouth.
Hello, Tommy.
Another child. This particular show, this topic, Morgan, has attracted an army of people. Of what age are you?
I'm 18. Hello.
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 I know the meaning of life.
Do you?
Yes.
I don't think you do. I think what you're doing is, as your previous caller said, getting people to question their own beliefs and the meaning of life. Well, can I just ask you a question?
Well, supposing that's the meaning of life, then you're wrong.
Well, are you talking about a unifying theory of life?
Supposing
Supposing
what you just said is the meaning of life, then you are wrong when you say, I don't know what the meaning of life is.
There is no meaning of life. That's my point.
But supposing what you said was the meaning of my life is the meaning of life...
To question one's existence?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
In that case, then you're wrong, because I have found the meaning of life.
Ah. So have I.
So you're wrong, and I'm right.
We're both wrong. And we're both right.
You're wrong
There's
because
no
you
difference.
said you're wrong because you said I hadn't found it, and yet you decided then that I had. I'm wrong because...
No, I was asking you a question.
I'm wrong because...
Because
what?
If I'm wrong, you're wrong.
Why?
Because what's the difference between my theory of life and yours?
Free caller 500 10 53 89. The average age to this hour of the programme, I would say, is about 23. That's fascinating, isn't it? John calls from London. What age are you, John? Good afternoon.
I'm 21.
Forgive me for asking your age.
That's fine. Age is irrelevant. It's how you think. I think that I have worked out what you think the meaning of life is from what you've said today.
Oh, you're all trying to treat it like a game of Cluedo, eh? It was Colonel Mustard in the parlour with a candlestick. It's the meaning of life, man. It's not by Agatha Christie. It's by Plato. Go on, then.
Well, anyway, I think it's recycling. Because to keep the world going, you need to have more people, which means you're having sex. Recycling in that way. Other reasons you recycle things, I think the meaning of life is recycling, to keep things going.
Jenny calls now from Ipswich. Jenny, you're on Talk Radio. Welcome.
Hello.
Jenny.
Yes?
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I've listened to this programme with great interest, and there's been lots of youngsters on. I'm 57, so I'm not a youngster, I'm not an old age pensioner, but I have travelled many roads in my life, I feel, and I think this is one way of gaining wisdom. I have a feeling that when you went out the other night to the bins, you looked up into the sky and you saw a vast infinity, and I believe strongly that none of us will know the true meaning of life until we travel on with our next journey.
No.
Would you agree with that?
No.
Well, I feel quite definitely that if you asked 1 billion people what the meaning of life, you'd get a slightly different angle from everybody, because we've all got our own minds and we all see things in a slightly different way. We perceive things in a slightly different way.
We do. We do. But most people's meaning of life seems to amount to more or less the same thing. that we should be as nice as possible wherever we can, and have children if that's possible and bring them up nicely, and try to be a nicer person and even nicer than we used to be as we go along our way. And that doesn't bear any relation at all, does it, to the way in which we live our lives? Not in the slightest, not in the least. Our personal philosophy, if we can dress up those thoughts and call it that, has absolutely no working relationship whatsoever with what we actually do on a day-to-day basis. But not me, not no more, no. Why? Because a couple of nights ago when I was taking the rubbish out, it suddenly hit me. There it was. Clear as clear could be. Like those tablets that were delivered to the other guy with a beard. I know the meaning of life, I know why I'm here, and I know why you're here. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. And James calls from Guildford. James, welcome to Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Hello, yeah, Mr. Boyd. I've just been listening to your talk show with all your guests coming on. One thing I've got to ask you is, you obviously know the meaning of life. All these people are ringing up expressing their opinions and you're not listening to a word they're saying. You've got your own view. It's very narrow-minded and you're not prepared to absorb the opinions of everyone else. Now, that's not to say that you don't know what you're talking about, but you should at least give everyone else a chance to air their opinions and absorb some of it.
I know what they're saying. I listen very carefully to what they're saying. I understand what they're saying. It's the things that I used to think a long time ago, way back, early on in the journey, when I was younger and shallower.
Do you not think that everyone else deserves a chance? Do you think you're the utmost authority on this subject? Do you not think that anyone else, any element of what they're saying could be true?
No, not since I took the bins out the other night and I found out what I'm talking about. No, I do know what I'm talking about here, and I'm quite certain of that.
Do you not think that's a little naive?
No, on the contrary, it's very wise.
You think it's wise?
I'm certain it's wise.
Right, all I'd say is next time you're going to plan a chat show, make sure there's enough room in that chat show for everyone to have their own opinion. You can give them a response instead of saying, no, that's not right, I'm right and you're wrong.
I'll tell you what I'll do. Next time I'm planning a chat show, James, I'll get you to advise me on how to do it, because you obviously know more about it than I do.
Yeah, that'd be great. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye. As Mike Myers would say, not. Free call 0500 10 53 89. There is justice in life. I've always believed that if you work hard, you will get where you want to go. And if you study hard and examine and analyse and work on and dream about and hope for and aspire to discovering the purpose of your one certain precious existence on this planet, you'll stand a better chance of getting close at least than if you simply cogitate and vegetate. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Calls for hard work. Hard original work. Chris calls from London. Chris, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Tommy. Yes, I believe I know the meaning of life, and that is to know the Lord Jesus Christ, to know his laws, to serve him, and to help other people to love him and have and to develop a relationship with him also.
That's not what he told me when I took the bins out.
Well, it doesn't matter whether you think that, but I know that that's correct, and I do believe that.
You haven't seen him or heard him?
No, but I can talk to him and pray to him, and he's the only one who can tell us the meaning of life. Nobody else can.
That's right, and that is why what he had to say to me when I took the bins out was so valuable. But it's not quite what you think, Chris.
Well, I think it is.
Well, he doesn't.
But Jesus does, because Jesus wants us
he
to know
doesn't,
him.
Because that's not what he told me.
Well, Jesus would tell everybody else that
he
Jesus
didn't.
wants us to love him and to serve him.
Why he didn't?
Well, just because
It's not what he's saying now.
Oh, he is.
Things have changed.
No, they haven't.
Well, why did he tell me what he told me when I took the bins out?
Well, I don't know what he told you.
Well, why don't you ask then?
Well, what did he tell you?
Exactly. That's the question you should have started by asking. At least it has something of the inquiry about it. And the inquiring mind, the curious mind, is the mind that is travelling in the right direction. Barry calls from Essex. Barry, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, Nobby. Don't tell anyone.
No.
I don't want the answer. I want to learn myself.
Barry.
I want to travel. I want to know it. I'm following you upstream. One day I'll reach the source.
We are but a twig on the back of a stream, Barry, you and I.
One day it'll be me, you, Jesus and Buddha drinking the vinegar. When I get there, I'll see you, but don't tell anyone.
Barry, I don't know who you are, but you're good. Now hop it.
I love you.
Hop it.
Bye-bye.
I love you too. The telephone number is free call 0500 10 53 89. We move the conversation on in the next hour of the programme. And the proposition is this. I wonder whether it's ever occurred to you that we were an awful lot happier 30 or 40 years ago when we were a lot more stupid than we are now. My mum always said to me, you know, if I have my time over again, I'd like to come back as somebody who's not quite as bright as I am. Because being fairly clever, and she is fairly clever, my mum, she said, is one of the main reasons why I never seem to be contented. It's a good point. And so we started to do some work on it. And we discovered that people started to be reasonably intelligent during the mid-60s. Free call 0500 10 53 89 is the telephone number. People should be stupid again. The world would be a better place, a safer place. But above all, you and I and everybody else would be a darn sight happier. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talksport.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. Comment too if you wish. Even slap your legs and make a purchase from Ann Summers. But don't do nothing.